Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Wealth and Wellness Report podcast. I'm your host, Diego. Today, we've got another great episode lined up. We're working with Jonathan Moore with True North Kitchen and Bath. He was on the show a little bit ago. Now we've got him here again today. Welcome back, John.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.
How
Cheers.
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just finished with a surgeon, so I'm a happy man.
Yeah, I hear you're the man of titanium. You just had surgery from an event that you were at. Mm-hmm. It was
12 weeks ago. I got hit on my bike 12 weeks ago and broke my collarbone in 3 places, bust my hand, and
that was just a recreational ride?
Yeah, no, it was the half an hour like chill out ride. It always kills me, mate.
Oh my
kills
God.
me.
You're
But it is what
me.
it is. Yeah. It wasn't like my 6 hour let's go and have some fun ride. No, it was a 30-minute just shake the legs out.
Oh my God.
I'd gotten off a plane, needed to go shake my legs out. Sweet, go shake my legs out. Bosh. And yeah, it is what it is.
So for folks that don't know a lot about you, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and your
born and raised in England.
Your story. Quick little story.
Yeah, so born and raised in England. I'll try and give you the 2-minute pitch. Joined Army Cadets when I was like 12, 13 years old. So got into a military mindset pretty early. Joined the Army when I was just shy of 17. Finished school at 16 and a half. Joined the military at 16 and 9 months. My mum was very happy to sign me off on that one. Don't know why. Can't think. From there, ran around the world with the British Army, had a ton of fun, just everywhere, right? You know, Iraq, Kosovo, Northern Ireland, just running around having fun, as I say. Hanging out with the team. And then after that, the fast forward version ended up in the United States. I worked for a company called System Pavers. Love those guys.
Big company.
Yeah, great company, like awesome dudes. And the reason why I ended up working for them, the short version is Ranger Bob, who happened to be the guy doing the interview, met Jonathan Moore, who happened to be a military guy.
As an Army Ranger.
Yeah, U.S. Army Ranger, yeah. Ex-Sergeant Major, was badass, right?
Wow,
so
cool.
Obviously meet a badass and it was kind of cool. So
Yeah.
And then from there, started my own company with Steve Moloff over here, so True North Kitchen and Bath. And me and Steve have known each other now for like 18 years or something. It's crazy.
That's wild.
It's wild how fast it's gone.
Yeah.
And then I've just always been into like endurance events. I say always. I've always done something a little batshit crazy from being in the military, right? You kind of...
You push the limit.
Yeah, I mean, you enjoy it, right? It's fun. You're like, ooh, I want to jump out of that? Yeah, sure, why not, right? And then next thing you know, you've done something that's really cool that most other people don't do.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's kind of rad, you know? So for me, and I don't know how far you want me to go on this, so I'm sorry, but like for me...
Let's hear it.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
The military brotherhood is with you for the rest of your life, right? That's just how it is. And anyone who's veteran, military guy or lady of any form will know that you can pick up the phone and call a friend of yours, like anytime.
We've had a few veterans on the show.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
yeah, so with that, Brian Wood, who is another badass, right? I've known him since I was like 17. So 18, like roughly. Like we joined the army together, all that sort of thing. He gave me a call, and I forget what year it was, I apologize. I want to say it was like 2015 or something. He called me up and he was just like, hey, John, I have Jay who lost his legs in Afghanistan and we're thinking of doing something crazy. Are you in for riding a bike across America? And I was like, sure, sounds great.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the last time I rode a bike, to be honest with you. That was in the January, and in the September, we went and did that race. And we started in Annapolis. And this is the thing, is we went in reverse, right? So I don't know how many people have done that, but I strongly advise against that because the winds in Kansas, when you're going in reverse, the winds go that way and you're trying to go that way.
Yeah.
And it's like 40, 50, 60 mile an hour, like headwinds, like real deal, just batter you.
Crazy.
We start in Annapolis, we finish in Santa Monica, and we follow the Race Across America route in reverse as best as we can. And I knew nothing about Race Across America. I just knew that my buddy Jay needed to go to Australia, get osseointegration is what he had done, which is where they put titanium rods into your bone in your thigh. And then you connect your legs through those, right? So prosthetics that are like ultra badass.
Wow.
And so Jay was just a rock star on the whole ride. He came as well, by the way. So just to put it in perspective, he did it on a hand bike.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So when we think of like, when you touch on that mindset piece of like, oh yeah, you did Race Across America, great. Well, that's easy. I got 2 arms and 2 legs.
Yeah.
This guy did it on a hand bike. and you should have seen him as like a wedge, right? And it was so hard keeping up with him because
So a hand bike is a lot like a recumbent, but you're using your hand as a crank. So you're sitting down, unlike a regular bicycle.
Yeah.
And you're using your hands to crank the bicycle.
Yeah, you got it, 100%.
Wow.
So it's like, just think of the challenges. This guy is so low to the ground. He has no depth perception as what we would normally have being higher up off the ground. So potholes, things that would affect your riding
So
technique.
he's like right underneath the wind then. So,
I suppose. I mean, you can say he's underneath the wind, but he's also sat in the heat zone. So when you're in Arizona and it's like 110 degrees, and you're like, it's warm today, but I'm up here and it's okay. He's like way down there. He's getting broiled like freshly cooked chicken as he's moving across Arizona. So
crazy.
Yeah, I think some advantages and disadvantages in that one. But yeah, so Brian called me up, said would I help him out on it, and yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no question. So we did some fundraising, had a bunch of fun with that in San Francisco, got everyone on board, and then I jetted across to Annapolis, and we just began. I mean, truth be told, I didn't have a coach. I bought a new bike just to make sure I could get across the country. That's really how much of a training set I did.
Outside of your military training, because that's pretty extensive, right? Like you have to go through boot camp, and then you're in the field, and so it's physically the exertion that you have to experience is quite high. So translating that into Ironman or Race Across America, I mean, you've already had some time in that.
Yeah, and it's not like yes, there's muscle memory, all right?
You're humping loads.
Yeah,
in the military.
I was with a friend of mine. She's an absolute sweetheart. She turned around to me, and I was in the gym with her. She basically turned around. She was just like, "My God, your muscle memory is like huge straight away." She's like, "I can see that. Like, I just see how it pops and how you go straight away. But it starts in your mind, right? As everything. So when your muscles perform, they do so because you've done it so many times. But your mental strength of how you want to perform, well, you have to work on that every day.
It's like a muscle as well.
It's 100%. Yeah. And so for me, I was very fortunate that in the military, you just get beasted. You know, you get no choice. You just work on it. And that get no choice changes you as to how you do things.
Yeah.
Like,
so they break you down and then they build you up.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways that they like to do it. They either break you down so that you are pond scum and you know nothing else in life other than being
in pain.
Yeah. And the whole phrase of like, pain is good, it reminds you that you're alive. You see how to cherish pain as opposed to run from it and be fearful of it. So it gives you a mindset of, I won't live in fear. I won't operate out of fear, right? Fear is false evidence appearing real, as we know, you know, those kind of things. And if you operate in a space of fear of, I will lose X, then you'll never move forwards. But if you operate in a space of, well, fear is just the obstacle that I need to go face. So when you turn and face your fears, like everyone says, well, bingo, right? Yeah. Okay, my fear is X, no dramas, let's go. So physically, the fear is, can I make it Race Across America? Well, that's easy. You go face it one pedal at a time. You face it one stage at a time. You face it one section at a time. That's what you do. But then you get training, and there's all the other pieces which we can talk about as well.
Yeah. So this Race Across America that you did was just the beginning of your kind of endurance athlete journey. Yeah. So you started to do more after this.
Yeah. So with Jay and Brian and the rest of the team, we completed that. It was called the Ride to Recovery, and it was for the 1st Battalion, the Princess of Wales's Royal Regiment, which was my old battalion. Yeah. Jay got his new legs. We put a bunch of money back into the regimental funds, all that fun stuff. So bingo, it worked, right? And then Brian Wood and Jay have gone on to do crazy awesome things after, you know. You should have Brian come on the show because he's...
Can't wait.
Yeah, honestly, rock star, right? But with that, I learned about Race Across America being a solo event. And I was like, well, you don't have to do this as a team? All right, well, I wonder who the crazy people are that do it solo. Yeah. So then I started to research into that, and I was like, dang, like this guy, Christoph Strasser, has done it like 6 times champion, and he does it in like 7 days.
And the record holder is a woman, correct?
No,
Or a
so
female?
you've got two different record holders, obviously, from the male and female category,
Got
right?
you. Okay.
But so the male category is Christoph Strasser.
Yeah.
He holds the world record. I don't think he can ever be beat, in my personal opinion, because
You do it in like 3 days or something?
no, he did it in like 7 days, right?
Wow.
The race team. So I'm very good friends with a gentleman called Chris DeMarchi, and he is the captain of Team Beamer. Currently hold the world record for the fastest team going across the United States. So he was my crew chief on Race Across America in 2023.
Amazing.
When I smashed it, right?
Got you.
Yeah, so his team did it in like 5 days, and don't quote me on it, it's like 1 hour and 20 minutes or something. It's like super crazy fast, right? And it was super rad.
Wow.
Like super cool.
So you get a little taste of this.
Yeah, so
and, and then you're like, sign me up. I want to do more.
Yeah, I was just like,
Have you done an Ironman?
Not before that.
Not before that.
No.
Okay.
So
I just like your first like real kind of heavy event.
Yeah, first real endurance event. Yeah,
amazing.
And so there's qualifications. I didn't know, right? So here's me thinking, well, you just go do it, right?
So you're a little naive going into it.
You have to be. I think that's the thing, right? Like that's one of the key components is if you go research every single piece about every single tough problem that's ahead of you,
you'll overanalyze it.
Yeah, and you're just going to set yourself up for failure.
Psych yourself out.
Yeah. So and it's with everything in life. If you look at a problem and then you analyze the crap out of it and you sit there and say, okay, well, these are all the issues, these are all the pitfalls, these are all the problems, all you're going to see is that.
Yeah.
But if you sit there and say in any problem in your life, okay, I have a problem right now, I have an issue, I need to go move in X direction, I need to do X. Mm-hmm. What's the potential result? Like, I love the phrase, there's that phrase which is like, but what if it goes wrong? Oh no, my dear, what if it all goes right?
Yeah.
What if it turns out better than you expected? What if you betting on you to win means that you actually won? What if the support network comes with you? What if the friends, the family, the people around you all of a sudden turn and see you? Yeah. And then you're in the win? Well, holy crap.
Isn't that interesting? Like how many people think about the negative side of things first?
Yes, because we're wired to. It's how a lot of people are raised.
Is it part of some survival mode or something that's kind of embedded within our, I mean,
I'm no doctor.
Genetics, me neither, but like it's almost everywhere. It's even outside of, the endurance athlete arena. Like in business, in school, anytime there's challenge or trial, it's always that like, well, let's think about the negative first. Like, and you start overanalyzing it, and you kind of play this victim role almost at the end of that overanalyzing. To me, it's just really interesting that if you jump in directly, like there isn't time to really think too much about it other than just do.
So there's two things in this. I like to sit there and say I'm a certain level of stupid. I'm a special level of stupid, right? Because I don't ignore the negative, but I definitely weight it and say, but I know what positive can come, right? Yeah. And that comes from childhood, so we can touch on that in a jiffy. But the other piece is, and again, I'm no doctor, so don't quote me on this, but I believe it's something like the reticular activation system or something, where your eyes see anything, immediately goes into your brain. You have this like thin little film basically, which is in your brain, which is like, hey, danger, 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 right? If you're out in the woods, then you're going to hear a twig snap and your brain is going to say, hey, danger, it might be a bear. If a bear runs at you, you're either going to fight or flight, right? Like, and that's how people are wired in general. And again, don't quote me on it because I'm no doctor or analyst, right? But I can tell you, I've seen it for real. When bullets start flying, like you see people run for cover or you see people charge. Yeah. So I've seen both. Yeah. I'm just the person that is wired to say, hey, and I'll come back to the growing up piece. When I grew up, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, right? There was a lot that was going on in my life and my family's life that was just crap, right? Yeah. And my mum made the best out of every possible situation. So I was wired from an early age to say, okay, this is a tough piece, but here's a silver lining. Okay, this is a tough piece, but if I do this, I might get that. Yeah. But might is what you use. It's the power, it's the strength inside of you to go get it. Mm-hmm. So you have the confidence inside of you and say, you know what? I know I'm in this place right now. I know I want to get to that place. So the only thing that's going to do it is putting a step forwards, is taking action, is making a movement happen. Mm-hmm. And if I move even in the smallest of ways, the universe opens up doors and allows me to move forwards too.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I'd learned about Ram solo. I started training. I had no clue what I was doing 50, 60 mile rides, things like that. I was starting to burn out and I was like, why is it I'm doing like a 60 to 100 mile ride and I am toast? Well, because I was fueling on the worst things ever, you know? I'm not fueling on proper hydration. I hadn't done any testing. That for me is where, outside of my mental capacity of just being an absolute idiot, right? Of, okay, well,
you had the brain power.
Yeah, had the brain power, had the mental fortitude,
yeah,
but I didn't have the correct training to perform correctly and understand what speed I needed to be at, what power, all those sort of things.
Yeah.
Actually ended up working with a coach, super cool guy. His name's Tim Fleming. He's a super rad guy, like love the guy. And he's with Endurance Performance Training Center out of Mill Valley. They're on, I think it's Madrona Street. Tim brought me in and tested me. He's just like, John, you're an idiot. And he's just like, and so it's good. I love it. Yeah, exactly right. He's just like, okay. He's like, let's go for it. You know, I think it'd been like in total now, maybe it's like 4 years or something of me working with him as a coach and that sort of stuff. It's been super cool.
So what sort of things were you doing with Tim to kind of help highlight?
First thing
the deficiencies.
Yeah. First thing is you need to get tested yourself.
Blood work.
Everything, right?
Labs.
Go. So what it is it's the simplest thing, like go do a VO2 max testing session with Tim,
Gotcha.
right?
And that's where you put on an oxygen mask and then you're on a bicycle and you're testing your oxygen and your respiration and how much.
It gets a little more technical than that, to be honest with you. It's okay. So you'll understand like your VLA max and things like that. And what you want to do is see what is your lactate threshold and pull your lactate threshold down, things like that. So there's body hacks that you can do. But yes, initially you'll be there. You'll do a ramp up phase testing of X amount of watts, which are preset based upon your weight. So you'll get your height, your weight, all of those things. You'll come into the ride fasted. And then you'll go start your performance testing. And at every stage, you'll then have blood drawn on the spot.
As you're
it's just a pinprick in your ear, right?
Oh,
and it's then and then it's a drop of blood which is squeezed out.
It's not like there's a phlebotomist there.
No, you're not hooked up to IVs and stuff. You're all good. Right. It's super cool.
That's cool. That's very cool.
You know, it will come out with a series of testing, right? And say, okay, well, this is how many carbs you can process per hour. This is how high your lactate threshold is. This is your anabolic threshold. And again, without me boring everyone here.
No, this is important because it's data driven.
Yes,
so
100%.
Now you're actually looking at things.
Yeah.
And then optimizing based on the data.
100%. So I'll give you an example. Is I came out of that testing, my first one, and I used to like smash it as hard as I could up a hill. Or, like I thought I had to do that. And Tim's like, so John,
pace yourself.
Like slow right down. And he handbraked me for like 12 weeks, and it was the hardest thing for my life.
Interesting.
Like he literally slowed me so much on a bike. I was like, mate, I hate this. And he's just like, slow is good. Or slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Right?
I love that.
Hate you. Yeah, no, I hate him still, even now. Basically, everything that Tim said and everything that Chris DeMarchi has said has been 100% on point. And I'm just like, I hate you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I hate you. But, you know, Chris is a world-class athlete. He's got 11 national champions, I think, on 11
Have
national
you worked with
championships.
Chris directly?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
phenomenal.
Chris is legendary as well.
Yeah.
So Chris is like an 11 times national champion, I believe it is, for bike racing.
Has he done Tour de France and all those?
No, he hasn't done
major-
Tour de France and stuff, but in the US and some of the stuff around the world, he's like the guy.
Yeah, he's the
like, he
the
knows
dude.
his. Yeah, and he's won a bunch of Ironman stuff and all that sort of thing for his age groups. Like,
amazing.
And his missus is just as badass as him, which is like kind of annoying, you know, because you're never going to get around him. It's great. I love him.
Cool.
But so it ends up that Tim slows me down and just says, hey, look, your mindset is there, but you need to have the right nutrition. You need to get enough sleep. So, I mean, my advice to every single person that's out there is, you know, get the right amount of sleep that you need, okay? Because that's a major piece of
I
recovery.
think a lot of people don't do that. Right?
No, of course. I mean, I'm terrible for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably the worst guy on
Like
the planet.
sleeping is a loss of production to a lot of people mentally. But it's kind of the opposite, right? You do need to get your rest in order for you to optimize your performance.
Yeah, I mean, when your body is at rest, it's physically building itself.
Yeah.
And if you want to then use that building block to succeed, well, let it build.
Yeah.
You know, so then the next thing is hydration.
Isn't there some irony in that at the end of the day? You
Yeah,
know
right.
what I mean?
Slow down to go better and go faster. Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hydration side of it, there's loads of different supplements on the market. You know, I won't sit there and
What do you do?
I use Elements right now, LMNT. It's works the best for me. I used to use Precision Hydration. It's great.
Is it like a gel? Is it
No, so it's a powder and it's
okay.
electrolytes.
Great. So you throw that in the water bottle when you go out for a ride.
Throw that. But you also then need to realize how many carbs you're burning per hour.
Yeah.
So that's where Tim's stuff comes in.
Yeah.
You know, it's huge.
Yeah.
How many carbs do I burn per hour? How much do I sweat? So you do a sweat test. My sweat rate is 1,200 milligrams per liter per hour, right? So,
and that's your basis, right? So when you're doing an event, it's not like you have a gauge or a meter or something that's with you that you're monitoring, or do you have instruments and tools?
No. You know from training, from
the
practice.
Training. Got you.
So I know that every hour I need to drink an entire bottle of Element.
Yeah.
All right. I also know that I need to drink an entire bottle of carbohydrates, and I have a custom fuel blend that I use for that.
Yeah.
I should have brought one with me. Sorry, but
all good. We'll plug it next time.
Perfect. And then that means that I'm taking on board approximately 80 grams of carbs per hour, and I'm taking on board 1,200 milligrams or 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of salts and electrolytes, magnesium, potassium, all of the fun stuff you need.
Trace minerals.
Per hour, per hour. And what that does is, in a non-competitive punching it style moment. So I know that the power that I need on my bike is 180 watts to 200 watts. That's called my max fat zone. So that means I'm operating in my optimal fat burning zone.
That's your ideal zone.
It's my ideal zone. I can sit and go at that zone and refuel at exactly what I just said. Yeah, all day, literally.
Yeah.
So that's RAM, right?
Right.
Because RAM is 10 days of...
So what's really interesting is everywhere in the United States, you have different temperature fluctuations, you have different humidity, you have wind, you have the elements.
Yeah.
And you can't test for this or train for this.
You
right?
can, and
like
I did.
You can go into into a room that they can change the temperature, the humidity, and all the things.
I did one better. I went to Death Valley and cycled in Death Valley.
Okay, well that's the best training ground.
Yeah, right. So I went to Death Valley for a week, trained there. I went up into the Rockies and trained up there.
Okay, so you're literally on site and practicing in the environment.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yeah, it's 100%. I mean, I trained into the wind on purpose as often as I could because mentally...
Builds character.
Oh, 100%, right? But mentally, when you're sat there into the wind and you are pushing, let's say 180 watts, and you're doing 12 miles an hour, you hate life.
Yeah.
You know, because normally I'd do 180 watts and be punching 20, 21 miles an hour, right? And living the dream. Just cruising, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you go and train in the environment you're going to be in as best as you can.
Okay. And then you adjust nutrients intake accordingly.
So that's where you have a nutritionist. So for me, on Race Across America, I had a nutritionist and super cool guy. And basically, he dialed everything in prior and was just like, listen, this is the map, what we're going to follow. I need you to fill out, or I say I need you, but my crew chief and my team members would fill out that chart and it would link back to him. And he'd be like, okay. So easy example is we know before you're going to go climb, you want to get in a lot of carbs before you climb. All right, you know you can only take on board about 80, 90 grams of carbs and digest those in an hour. So 2 hours before, let's carb load, right? Let's raise what you're eating, knowing that when you go from 180 or 200 watts to 250 to 275 watts in a climb, well, you can't digest. It's that simple. When you're doing 250 to 275 watts for me, my body will not digest food. So now whatever I'm eating sits in my gut. And now I have...
For later.
Yes, for later, but it doesn't help you.
It doesn't help you in the moment.
Yeah, because now you're having gut issues and gastro issues, right?
Right.
And that's just, now that messes with your head because now you feel uncomfortable because now you're extra gassy or now you've got extra food and now your team are like, well, you just took on board this, so you should be good. And let's feed again. And now you're overloading. So it's the experience of having someone like Lane, who's a very good friend of mine. He's known me, he's like a dad to me, right? And he's known me, again, for like 18 years. So For him to know my mindset and how I perform and who I am from knowing me that long as a crew chief in that moment, and then to have Chris as my other crew chief, who is performance driven and understands all of that aspect, it's a win-win.
Win-win, because you got the physical and the mental.
Yeah. So
those two.
Super lucky, super blessed for that. So it's not just about you as an individual. Like, you can be the craziest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the team with you, then what do you have? You just have crazy you. And what happens when you go off the rails?
Yeah.
Right? What happens when you don't think straight because
You need
it's
somebody to corral you back into.
Yeah, you've
certainty.
cycled for like 30 hours, let's say, before your first rest stop.
Yeah.
And at 30 hours, having done X amount of hundreds of miles, you're now like, okay, I'm 400 miles in, let's say. I'm 30 hours in. Great. But now you're a little wobbly or tired on your feet, whatever. You're not thinking straight and you're not doing everything that you should correctly. And that only compounds as the days go on, because you have 12 days to do the race, right? And I mean, our fast forwards is, if I rewind first and then fast forwards, let's put it that way. My first attempt at it, I crashed and burned because 2021.
Literally or
literally.
Okay.
So it was the hottest year on record. Yay.
Of course,
right? 128 degrees Fahrenheit in the desert. So I think that works out around 50 degrees centigrade. That's when your brain starts melting. So it's biologically, like anything over 50 degrees, you're burning brain cells, like literally just destroying them, right? So I leave Oceanside, it was warm. I get up and over the initial set of mountains, get into Borrego Springs, and it's like 1:10 at night. We were joking on the radio because it went to 99 degrees at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Holy cow.
And I was heading out towards Parker, Arizona, and they were like, yay, it's 99. And I was like, oh God, it's cold, yay. And then literally 20 minutes later, it's back to 100, then it's 110, then it's 120, and I'm in Skull Canyon, and I'm, as I said, roughly 300-400 miles into the race. I had Ryan and his team with me as the camera team, right?
Yeah.
And they drove past me. I went down this dip and coming up the other side. And as I went down the dip, like I started breathing, but I had no oxygen. And I couldn't describe it, right? I come up the other side and I take like 3 breaths and there's no oxygen and I blacked out on the bike.
Shit.
It was that hot. Like, it was literally...
So you go over the handlebars and...
I just went sideways. I was going up the hill, boom, sideways straight off, right? I'd ripped my butt cheek in the crash because I'd gone down the hill to come up, right? And so Ryan and his team had looked in the rearview mirror just by pure chance, as you do, right?
Yeah.
And they saw me take a nosedive.
Oh, geez.
So they come bailing out and it's like, hey man, you good? But it was one of those, you hit the deck and then
you wake up when you hit the deck? Or
I hit the deck and maybe like, I don't know, 5 seconds later I'm up.
Okay.
Right? It wasn't, but it was just one of those where like, just blacked out and hit it and bosh. So then I get to the top of that little bridge and I'm like, all right, there's air. Like, great.
Yeah.
And then I've now got a rip in my butt cheek. So
you're bleeding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a tear, right? So we just stitch it up. I butterfly stitch it and we
Get
just
back on?
crack on. We keep going because I got like...
Because you're special kind of stupid.
Yeah, it was special stupid, right? Special kind of stupid, right? The short version of that is that I couldn't sit on my saddle, right? So it was an issue. I've got bandages on it and all that sort of stuff. Ripped it again. I got up and over the Rockies basically just by being out of my saddle and cycling up and over the Rockies. So we're now like 900 miles in or something, and we just kept going. After that, we got to Kansas, and I'm now struggling with the heat again, and I'm also struggling with the bandages, and I'm struggling with having to stop every like 4 hours to readjust bandages, and I'm now starting to get infection happen on my butt cheek, right?
Okay.
So I speak to my doctor, and he's just like, dude, I would never tell you to stop doing
Your
something.
doctor riding with you?
He wasn't riding with me. He's on
call?
He was on call.
Okay.
Yeah. He turns around and says, John, I know you. If I tell you to stop, you won't stop. But I know you. He said, but what I will tell you is that if you would like me to amputate your leg when you get back, then
Happy
keep
to do
going.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
dude,
come on. And then I thought of Jay, to be honest with you. First time in my life, I just broke down in tears, was not happy with myself, super upset, and I had to call it. Like, I was not going to make the calf, all right, and the finish line. We were over halfway. Ryan and his team were great because they'd put up this little sign which was like, you know, halfway, yay, get it, right? And I was so pumped. But from an electrolytes perspective, my nutrition was now off. My injury was killing me.
Yeah.
My brain cells were now really messed up.
Yeah.
And my doctor's now like, dude, you're in a bad way. You should call it. So we did, right?
Took the hit. Took the loss.
But then I was just like, all right, we come back and we do this properly. What I did though is I actually went to the finish line. I flew the entire team to the finish line, and we said well done to
the team.
To everyone.
To everybody.
Right? Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that race in Ram solo, so it's kind of cool. But and then from there it was okay. Well, let's come and do it again, and this time let's go race it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that was where.
And was that a year later? 2 years later?
I wanted to do it a year later. I just wasn't recovered fully enough.
Okay.
From another injury. Surprise, surprise. So Team Beamer is, and this is how I got to know Chris and the team.
Yeah.
Basically, Team Beamer wanted sponsorship to help with their Race Across America journey, right? True North, Kitchen and Bath jumped in there. At that stage, we were still NorCal Remodeling Group.
Yeah.
But we jumped in. We said, yeah, sure, let's help. Right, let's do something really cool.
Yeah.
And got to know Chris, got to know the rest of the team. And as I say, they smashed it. 5 days. To do 3,100 miles.
It's impressive, dude.
175,000 feet of climbing and destroy that in 5 days. Like,
feeling good.
Dang.
Feeling
yeah,
good.
so they were good.
I love the data-driven approach to optimum performance. I don't think you can do that without acquiring data, feedback, and then apply. But you're also a business owner, and you're doing all of these things. You're getting injured. You're going through physical exhaustion. All the things. You know, how do you manage the day-to-day of the business, and then your heavy physical athletic career? Tell us a little bit about how you kind of work the two into your life.
Again, it just comes down to like the mental side of things. Is I call them golden hours, right? What are your golden hours? So I know for me that I can train at night and it doesn't bother me. Some people are like, I'm not getting on a bicycle when it's dark because it's dangerous. I just don't care about that. I don't think about that. It doesn't bother me. I've done so many dangerous things at night that riding a bicycle is actually chump change. It's super cool. There's less cars on the road, blah, blah, blah. I just wear something bright. Everyone's a winner, you know? So I would cycle Highway 33, which is from Tracy down to Los Banos, and it's roughly 60 miles each way. I would cycle down there at midnight. I would fly down there, flip a UE at Los Banos, fly back up on my TT bike. I'd try to do it at 9 o'clock at night until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I would be back home. I'd sleep for like 3 hours, and then I'd be back at work at 7, 8 a.m. So my normal working day wasn't affected.
Yeah. And you've got a team, right? So on both sides. So the athletic endurance?
No, there's no team for athletic. It's just me getting on a bike and just going.
Right? You've got your
you got your coach.
Yeah, your coaches, your mentors. You know, the trainers. I mean, that's instrumental.
Yeah.
But and then on the business side as well.
Like, the business side, we built the business.
A huge team.
Yeah.
To allow you to do this.
Yeah.
So which is a huge lesson here. Like you can't just be a solopreneur and then think you can take on all the things.
No.
You need to build a team in order for it
you need to know how big your plate is.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
Some self-awareness.
What fits on my plate? What am I good at? What am I not good at?
Yeah.
If I'm not good at something, who do I give that to?
Yep.
If I'm really good at something, who do I teach to be really good at it to? And then you go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because now you can hand command and control off to someone who's now empowered and enabled to go do something cool whilst you're doing your thing. I mean, I would have my headset on whilst I was cycling, and sales managers would call in and be like, "Hey, John," you know, or team members would call and be like, "Hey, John, I'm with a client right now. Just want to say congratulations and thanks for doing business with us." And I'd be on the phone with them whilst we're doing that.
Great.
And cycling down Highway 33.
So it's full integration.
Yeah.
Fully integrated. I love that.
And I think it just comes down to, I have 2 daughters, right?
Fatherhood too.
Yeah, it's great.
Your dad.
But
on top of all the things.
Yeah, but you go out on bike rides with your kids, you know. You'll go to the gym with your kids. You'll do fun stuff like that, you know. Stretching, like Isabella is gymnastics queen. Love her to pieces, right? So she only said to me last week, she's like, "Daddy, we're going to do more stretching." I'm like, all right. And she's got some new stretches that she wants to put me through. I'm like, get it, girl. You know, so I try and do that.
Great.
But yeah, I think from a mindset perspective is you can look at every negative as to why not. You can wait. And I think this is a key piece. You can wait for the perfect situation to open up. You can wait for the perfect alignment of everything. And you can wait. Or you can get like 80% of it, 90% of it. And when you get 80 to 90% of a green light, you freaking go for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't sit on your ass and be like, but it's not quite there yet. No, you push the other 10%.
Yeah.
A door doesn't just open by itself, right?
You,
have
kick
to
that MF down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Love that.
give it a nudge. You never know, because the other side of that door is pure gold every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
So Ram is just bicycle, but you've also done Ironman, which is running, swimming, and the bicycle.
Yes.
Was that like kind of the next level in your athletic career, endurance?
Yeah.
career?
So what happened was, and Chris, I have to blame him for getting me into this.
Because he's the one who's like, hey, you think you're having fun here.
Let's do
this.
sure, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was, to finish this one, right, Ram 2023 was hilarious, the finish. I forget exactly how far away we were, but I want to say I'm like 200 miles out roughly. Chris is like, hey, dude, like push it. And then we get to like 120 miles out from the finish line. Chris says to me, I'll never forget it, because this guy had cycled past me, right? So it's like, and this is just a normal civilian guy, like super cool dude. But we're all dying laughing in the van because this guy on a Huffy is like overtaking me and he's drinking a gallon of milk. Chris destroyed me for it. I couldn't bicycle because I was laughing so hard, right? So it ends up that he's just like, he pulls me over and was like, hey, listen, John, what's the fastest 100 miles you've ever done? And I look at him, I'm like, Chris, like 4 hours and like 40 minutes, mate. But that was fresh on my shiv.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to need to see your best effort.
Okay.
And I'm just like...
He just lit you right out.
Yeah, and I was just like, mate, so against health reasons, or health stuff here,
Yeah.
I think roughly it was like 6 cans of Red Bull and 8 Snickers bars. I think that's what it was. Don't quote me on it. Oh, it was hilarious, right? So we said, okay, because he said to me, look, and this is where the mental piece comes in, which is your why, and we should like talk about that in a jiffy, right?
Let's do it.
He turned around to me and he said, John, you can turn up to that finish line at 10 o'clock at night. It'll be all singing, all dancing. Everyone will be there. It'll be super cool. Like, we'll go do dinner. We'll have a drink. Well done. Celebrate. He said, or you can turn up at current pacing for 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, the bars will be closed. The restaurants will be shut. No one's going to be at the finish line. And it'll be, yay, go John. I was like, rightio. I see where this is going, right? So what do you need? I was just like, let's get a can of Red Bull. Let's get this party started.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's
and
go.
that's what we did, right?
Yeah.
I literally, and it was me that introduced the Red Bull because I knew it was blood sugar spikes. And Chris was a legend on this because he's a coach. And he turned around, he's like, dude, I'm going to watch you. And if this taurine and caffeine level kicks you too high, I'm not blowing your heart up on this race to finish like fast. I was like, all right, no dramas. So we did monitor it. Like he was on point. So
Strategic with the...
It was very strategic. Yeah, he was very good. It's not just as blasé as me saying to you right now, yeah, just drink a ton of Red Bull, you'll be fine. No, right?
Yeah.
There is a method to the madness.
Gotcha.
I think I went from like 8th position out of the men to 5th position or something, like in 100 miles. It was like 11th down. It was one of those, I don't focus on stats now. I'm not an egomaniac that wants to be like, wow, I did this and I did that. No, it's not how I'm wired, right? I just love the experience and it was super freaking cool.
Yeah.
But I say stats because it's like when I push through like 5-6 places of people,
You pick up.
yeah, you pick up and your mental game picks up.
Yeah.
And you see. So momentum is the key to success as well, right? If you have a piece in your life which you're struggling with, and it could be physical, it could be personal, whatever it is, and then you see an opportunity to go gain momentum, you jump into the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then you maintain momentum by taking consistent steps. And at that stage, the momentum then carries you through that door, which you once perceived was so difficult to go through. And now the other side of it, you're like, holy crap, look at my life.
Yeah.
Like, how freaking cool is this? You know, so that piece of the puzzle is huge. And that happened on Ram at the very end of it, right? And there was a gentleman at the very end who came up to me and was just like, dude, I can't believe, were you racing us at the end? And I was like, I got no choice. Chris is my coach. Like, you know, he told me, and I'm not joking, at the end of that race line, I saw this guy's red light ahead of me, right? I could see the back of his bike
so you
light.
hustled to get up
And it was maybe a quarter of a mile away or something, right?
Oh, wow.
And it was close. So Chris was just like, show me like your Tour de France sprint finish.
Yeah.
And I was out of the saddle, butt cheeks in the air,
Love
pistons driving
Yeah.
all the way. I beat him on timing on the finish line.
Amazing.
So this guy was just like, dude, really? And I was just like, sorry, man. Right? But it's fun, right? I mean, that's the thing. And then you get the rewards afterwards. So I think really...
So going to the why.
Yeah.
You know?
So my why originally for Race Across America on the first one was to raise funds for Jay and his legs, all right? My next why comes into a few different things. I lost my mum and my dad, and we also lost a really good friend called April Cabral to cancer. And I was just like, I'd looked at April over the past 8 years. The girl never took a day off. She was a great mom, great person at work. She went through, I think it was 13 or 14 different non-FDA approved trials of how to stay alive. Took every drug you can think of that would help other people. And she was only meant to live for like 4 or 5 years. She made it 8 years.
Wow.
Right? And she was a badass the whole way through.
Yeah.
And so with every single pedal stroke that was hard for me, I was just like...
Thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I had a tough moment, I was just like, all right, mom, all right, dad, got this, let's go.
Amazing.
Right? It's about testing yourself. It's about saying, okay, what am I made of? I can sit at home on a couch in a little square box and I can do zero with my life and I can conform to all of the normal things that come up. And I can sit and watch my TV shows and I can be, I can be in a relationship that's okay, right? And I can just kind of poodle through. Or I can say, you know what, no.
It's not good enough.
It's not so much it's not good enough, right? Because what it is life is so huge. And we weren't born and put on this planet to play small. We just weren't. Because if we were, then I never would have left my hometown. I would have been the same as everything else that is out there.
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't. I ended up on a journey all the way out here. And I know of other people that have had journeys from different continents that have ended up out here and in different places in the world, and they're living that journey. They didn't just stop and say, okay, well, I'm good now. There's always an opportunity every single day to find the brightness in something, right? But if you don't challenge yourself, you'll never see it.
Yep.
And so when we finished when we finished Race Across America, Chris was just like, dude, you have the endurance ability and you have the brain cell power or the craziness in your brain to go do Ironman events. And I was like, sweet. And he was just like, you should come do Ironman Hawaii. And I was like, all right. It's a 70.3, so it's only a half Ironman. It was super cool. It was my first one. So I hadn't been swimming in forever. I started swimming in the January and joined a swim team, which was hilarious because I'm swimming like froggy style with my neck out the water. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm swimming. And they're like, no, put your head under the water and get your arms moving. And I was like, radio. So I went from being like 2 minutes per 100 yards down to like 130 per 100 yards, right? It took time, but then got in the water, did Hawaii, and it was hard. It was something brand new to me. I had to make sure my nutrition was on and all that sort of stuff.
This is the next level, it sounds like, from RAM.
Yeah.
Take it to,
Well, RAM is different, right? In that RAM is extremely hard. It is the world's hardest road race for a reason. Like, because it's not like Tour de France where you stop and you rest and you recover and you get a bath. No, the clock starts
and you keep going until the end.
You keep going. Yes, you're on the bike 21 hours a day. When the clock on RAM begins, you go 21 hours a day and you rest for 3 hours and you figure everything else out in that 21 hours, you know? But then after that, what it is, it's a different style of endurance event, right? Because now you've done your swim and you've now got to convince your legs to run to go get your bike, right? And then you've got to make sure that your bike or your legs are convinced that you should now ride a bike and go bash out the mileage on the bike, right? And the bike holds its own separate challenges. Obviously, I'm very well trained on the bike, so I was like, yes, that's my event. But the swim was terrible for me, and I'm getting better at the swim. And then it comes into the run at the end of it. And I didn't realize, especially in Hawaii, the heat between the lava fields and stuff, it's incredible. Like, you don't think about it. It may say it's 75, 77 degrees outside, but reality is in that lava field piece, it's like 100 degrees, because the air is trapped and everything's trapped again. So it is a different beast. And you are competing against other people. There's a lot of folks around you now.
How many generally are attending an event like
I would say maybe 1,500 to 2,000, roughly.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a big group.
Well, I was just at Ironman World Championships in Hawaii for supporting a friend of mine who qualified for it. And she's a badass as well. I think there was like 1,700 world champion athletes that started that race. To tell you how hot it was and stuff like that, I think 20 of the professionals didn't complete it.
Dang.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of other people that obviously did, but it was hard work. So yeah, so from Ironman Hawaii, I came back to the pool, and that's when I knew I had to level up. It's great I can ride a bike, but I now needed to level up in several disciplines. And I think that's the next thing, is like, it kept my mind fresh, you know. Met a badass training partner in the pool. She's a dolphin, like, girl can swim, right? And I was like, all right, so this is the person to chase. Great, get it, you know. And I'll never forget it, on our first training session, she's like, hey, you need to lift your butt's too low, like you're dragging. And I was like, all right, easy, you know, like, because I'm thinking that I'm Flash Gordon in the pool, you know. Not at all. And then, as I say, it comes to your team that are around you. Yeah. And then went on to do Ironman Washington, and again, it was a half Ironman, right? So
have you done a full one yet?
No, that's the challenge, right?
Okay.
Is I was meant to go do last year Ironman Arizona and crashed my bike like 4 weeks before the event, so that was a no. So then I just re-geared up, and I said, okay, I'd done Ironman Washington in like 4 hours and 58 minutes. So I was like, great, I can do a sub 10 full Ironman. And again, I know I'm not the fastest out there, but it just comes down to, you got kids, you got work, we expanded the company, we changed the business names of the company, you know, LA is open, all sorts of things are happening. Here we are, okay, let's go do Ironman events, you know. Jumped in and did Ironman Oceanside, which was great. Same.
Was that recently?
That was back in March of this year.
Okay.
And then after that, with friends, I jumped into Escape from Alcatraz. I think another thing is it comes back to the why, is like, why all of these?
People are probably asking right now, like, why the hell are you doing all this?
So when I was younger, I didn't have anything, literally not a pot to piss in. All right. We would walk to the Salvation Army place, and we would go pick up cans of stewed steak, which are in silver cans with no labels on them. And we would come home and we would cook those for 2 weeks and go back the next 2 weeks and go get the same again. And it was basically dog food. Steve and I, my business partner for True North, we worked with Open Heart Kitchen when COVID kicked off. And we supplied those guys with as much as we could. And so now when I race for American Cancer Society, and we raise funds for them. The way that I see it is like, if it's 10 grand a year that I raise to help someone else out, then it's 10 grand a year. I would love to be a guy that can say, hey, there's $100 million into cancer research. We've just solved it. Congratulations. Let's move on to motor neuron disease. Let's move on to the next one. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not like Elon. I don't have all of that funding available and all that sort of thing.
Every pedal stroke is
So that comes into my why, right? Let's go try and help other people out who don't have the ability to do this. You know, I saw a guy who, man, just massive kudos to him. Like, one arm and one leg and doing Ironman. Like, and I complain about my life? No. No, shut up. Right? Pull yourself together. So when I see people who, like Jay, who have had the struggle, I never forget cycling up Mount Diablo. I met a lady called Brittany. She was with her dad, and she's cycling with one leg up Mount Diablo. This chick is kicking my ass up Mount Diablo with one freaking leg. And I'm like, get it, girl, right? And she's part of the Challenged Athletes Foundation. First thing I did was donate it to that. Literally, I got home and donated to that straight away. I was just like, what a amazing woman. You know? They're the things for why, right? You know, Escape from Alcatraz, that one was how to scare the pants off of yourself. Because
you're in with sharks, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're in dark water
with sharks,
big ass waves, fog, and sharks. I'm not a fan of that.
No,
I like living.
Neither,
I think that's the thing, right? Is I do love to live, right? So I think that's the other piece is, like, what is it that drives you? Whether it be in business or, like, what is the passion within your business? What is the passion within your sport? What is the passion within your day? Do that and live for it. Like, I like going for a run. There's nothing better than going for a run and being with a person who you love to pieces and you're high-fiving on a run, right? That's great. And lots of people do that. What I've found that I like going for a run, I like going for a swim, and I like going for a bike ride with a person who I love to pieces. Why not? So just go do that, right? Like it just happens that
Yeah.
I've fallen into that triathlon world of doing something cool with a partnership. But then now I get to live life and also do it not only as a partnership in that, but as a how can I help fund other people?
Yeah.
How can I inspire other people? How can I help other people?
How to create impact.
Yeah, so it
Love that,
works.
man. Yeah, love that, man. No, this has been great. Morning ritual, John. Is it a workout or are you strategizing in your business?
So first things first is wake up, take 10 minutes, clear everything. So before you go to sleep, take 10 minutes, clear everything. Wake up in the morning, clear everything.
Yeah.
That's your first 10 minutes. After that, I try and calendar my day so that I can get fitness done in the morning of some form.
Swim, run, bike, whatever.
So 5:30 in the morning is normally swim time.
Oh, great.
So 5:30 to 6:30.
Yeah.
If not, it's a 6:30 to 7:30. Just depends on. Honestly, I'm a normal human. I do wake up bleary-eyed.
Sure.
I'm not. Yeah, not a
You're
machine.
not a robot or a machine.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
If for some reason I have work stuff that needs to jump in, then I'll swim at 12 till 1 every day. So that's the cool piece is I'm in a master's program that allows me that flexibility.
Love that.
So I do have different days for different things, you know, but I have a standing meeting at 9 a.m. that I need to be on every day. So yeah.
You make that work.
Yeah. So it's a combination of fitness and strategize for the business.
Cool.
But your business should be ready to go the night before. I'm just going to say
Oh, yeah.
that. Like the next morning should not be we got to get this done today. No, you know it the night before.
Yeah. Yeah. Courage or consistency, which wins in business?
Oh. Okay. Consistency wins in business because business is data driven.
Yeah.
You have to have the courage to be consistent though.
I love that.
You have to.
That's good.
Like,
That's
that's a
good,
good.
John.
That's a good
Yeah.
question, there, buddy.
Favorite phrase you tell your team,
Oh,
whether it's on the athletics or, the business side?
I think I love you guys.
Yeah. I think I've heard
Like-
you say that a billion times
Yeah,
with your
like
teams.
I don't know how many times I've told that to Ryan. I've hugged that guy more times. I think more than his wife's hugged him. I've hugged, and I'd expand on that, right? Because it's important. Is you can have all of the phrases in the world,
Yeah.
but when you genuinely love someone,
Yeah.
you go take action.
Yeah.
That action could be the simplest thing as a hug. It could be like I'll say Jay and the team. Like if Brian Wood was to call me up right now, I'm like, dude, I need you in Tunisia like in 2 days. I'm like, all right, mate, give me a jiffy. Let me find a flight.
Yeah.
Right.
Love that.
That's how it is.
What's the biggest business myth you wish people would stop bellowing?
Great question. Don't know. I don't listen to crap. So
Yeah. There's a lot of shit out there.
okay, so I would say this: it can't be done. Fuck off. Like, can't means won't, and won't means jail. Everything you want to do can be done. It's that simple. If
Yeah.
you want it bad enough, and
You'll
I
go
forget
do
who who said it, but it's when you want to breathe, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful,
Yeah.
right? So if you want a relationship bad enough, you'll go get it done. If you want a business to work bad enough, you'll get it done. If you want the physical aspects to be bad enough, you'll go get it done. If you don't, your actions will show me.
It's true.
And that's just how it is. So can't means won't, and won't means jail. There you go.
It's good. That's so good, man. I'm not sure if you're a reader, but is there the best book that you've read this year, or do you have like a book that you really like?
A book that I've always loved was the first one given to me by Lane, and it was Encouraging the Heart.
Do you remember the author?
Top of my head, it's on my bookshelf. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
I'll get
Cool.
it to you. It's a super good book. Like, really good.
I'm not sure if you're a coffee drinker, but coffee. I always ask this: coffee, tea, or hydration pack in the morning.
All right, so I owe this to Thais of all people, and I'm a name drop here because what happened was I never used to be into coffee, never used to be into caffeine, none of that stuff, right? I mean, yes, I drank the Red Bull thing because I knew it like would send me skyrocket, right?
It would work, yeah.
So this year I got a brand new coffee maker, espresso maker thing. It's all singing, all dancing. It's not good for your health, I'll tell you that. But what it is, and it's super fun, right? So it's something for me to dive into. And basically, Thais had said to me, this is what I have. This is what would work. I took the advice because that's what you do. You go to the person who you know is good at this and you say, okay, help educate me, right? So she educated me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no dramas. I right now have a bag of Kona coffee. I have a bag of Peabody coffee. I have... Peaberry coffee, please. I have 2 bags of, and I wish I remember the name of them, but one is a bourbon coffee, one is a Pinot coffee. And I'm basically John the barista now, right? But I haven't drunk coffee in like 3-4 days. Like, it's just one of those, it's a fun piece for me, right?
Bits, yeah.
Little bits. So
yeah.
Right now, if I take my diet this morning, I woke up, I ate cereal, I've drunk 2 bottles of water. You fed me a protein bar, and I'm on a cup of water right now.
Cool.
I'll do lunch after this. Hey, Preston.
Yeah. How about one word that defines winning for your team at True North?
Happiness. Happiness of my customer, happiness of my team member. That's what winning is about. All right. Is my client happy? Yes. Great job. You just won that client over. Good job. Now we get the second bathroom. Now we get the kitchen. Fantastic. Are you happy? Yes. That means you're living the lifestyle that you're meant to live, or you want to. All right. If you're not happy, come to me. Let's figure it out. If my client's not happy, come to me. Let's figure it out. Everyone has my cell phone. I don't hide behind anything. You call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if I'm asleep, you call me on an off chance.
Last one. Favorite way to recover and refill when business gets intense?
I would say a bike ride is always good for cleansing the soul. Honestly, that's how, like...
In the middle of the night?
Doesn't matter when.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter when.
It's a good ride.
Well, it's not about pushing the ride. It's about being on a ride that takes you away from your phone, away from all distractions. There's nothing better than it's midnight and you're out on what I call an airport loop, which is where I live. There's an Oakland airport's not far, right? And I can jump out on the airport loop and there's a trail that's, I said trail, but it's like a paved trail that goes around it. And you're there with the owls, you're there with the waves. Like, you have that moment where you just have clarity.
Yeah.
And that clarity allows you to just recenter and continue pushing forwards.
I love how you selected a physical activity, because for me, it's the same. Some sort of physical activity, get back to one, get back to center, and everything's all good again. For me, it's skiing down a mountain.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nothing like skiing down a mountain.
That's great.
The whole world is chaos, but when I ski down the mountain, it's all good again.
You're focused.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. You're focused on staying alive, on staying true to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Nice.
John, thanks for coming again, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, another amazing episode of the Wealth and Wellness Report podcast. Click the subscribe button below, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Later.